Where's the film?
What are you talking about? The film that's in his canister, waiting to be shown, waiting to go into history.
There is no film, is there?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at movies lost to time that we'd love to see most.
Cleopatra played theaters around America for 2.5 years. Yet today, the film has been lost.
Her Friend the Bandit.
Let me direct the next one.
What makes you think you can do it?
Couldn't do any worse.
Says you. Says I, what if nobody wants it? What if it stinks? Who'll pay?
This is one of the few lost films of the celebrated actor Charlie Chaplin. It was directed by Chaplin and his frequent collaborator, Mabel Normand.
Start the story, start the chase. I get bored easy, why?
How much do you reckon, Mac? Couple yards of Mabel?
Yeah. No, make it 3.
This silent film, released in 1914, was 18 minutes long, making it hardly a movie by today's standards. Reviews were positive when it came out, with critics raving about how funny it was. Chaplin plays a bandit who crashes a party hosted by Normand until the police, played by the famous Keystone Cops, arrive to remove him. Hopefully a copy of it is hidden away in someone's private stash, which has been the case for other lost Chaplin flicks. So we might see it someday, but who knows when.
Oh, I should never let them show this film. Oh, never. People don't like them. They'll think they're old.
Well, they are old. Well over 50 years, some of them.
The King Kong that appeared in Edo. While Godzilla from 1954 is often considered the first kaiju movie, this King Kong flick predates it by over 15 years.
この目の前の不幸はどうすればいいんです。このまま放っておくよりは仕方がないんですか。
It came out 5 years after the Giant Ape's big screen debut, but it was surprisingly the second Japanese King Kong picture. The first came in 1933 and is also lost to time. It's less interesting than the 1938 feature though, as it's just 3 short comedy reels.
Well, I never thought I was going to see something.
The King Kong that appeared in Edo was released in 2 parts and includes an ape suit created by Fuminori Ohashi, who later worked on Godzilla's costume. Unfortunately, about 90% of all Japanese movies made before 1945 have been lost, so it's unlikely this will ever turn up.
What are you going to do? I'll build a raft to float them to the ship. Why, the whole world will pay to see this. No chains will ever hold that.
Il Mostro di Frankenstein. Also known as the Monster of Frankenstein in English, this Italian picture was one of the first big-screen adaptations of Mary Shelley's famous 1818 novel. It's also one of the first Italian horror films, although horror wasn't as well-defined a genre as it is today.
Don't you know the rules? What rules? You don't... Jesus Christ, you don't know the rules?
Have an aneurysm, why don't you?
All that remains of the movie are promotional pamphlets and posters. It was screened in places like Belgium, Egypt, and France, where it even got a localized dub. Even then, the full film was rather mythical, as it was heavily censored.
How? Please tell us everything, whatever it is.
It was praised for Umberto Guaracino's performance as Frankenstein's monster, but other than that, it wasn't a hit. The plot summary is unclear, but we know it wasn't a wholly accurate novel adaptation.
Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, 3 very sane spectators.
A country hero. Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle was one of Hollywood's biggest names in the 1910s.
I never thought we'd come to this. Here we have the star dressing room without a dresser. Oh, well, I guess we can put up with it for one night.
He frequently collaborated with Buster Keaton, another A-lister from the era. All of these movies are still available except for A Country Hero, which is lost to time. It's the only missing Buster Keaton silent film, but a few details and images still exist.
And the minute we found something we liked, we says, that's a fine start. Says, now what's the finish? Well, when we found the finish, how to round that out, we never worked on the middle. We always figured the middle would take care of itself.
It's set in Jazzville, with Arbuckle playing a blacksmith madly in love with a teacher, played by Alice Lake. This was also Buster Keaton's father Joe's acting debut. Buster played the village pest, and hilarity ensued, taking the form of car chases, fight scenes, and a lot of water trough gags.
If anybody else says it's like old times, I'll jump out the window. First the doorman, then the call boy, Now the stage manager.
The Miracle Man. This Lon Chaney movie has been partially found, but don't get your hopes up just yet. They've only found 3 of 80 minutes so far. If you don't know Chaney, he's another one of the silent film era's most celebrated actors. This was one of his earliest performances and made him a star almost overnight.
Director George Lone Tucker wanted a real contortionist, but none of those he found could act. Chaney did a test so convincingly, Tucker was shaken.
The plot focuses on a group of 4 criminals scheming to get rich by grifting a town near Boston. It was being shown in cinemas until 1927, but somehow it's almost entirely lost. On the bright side, there was a 1932 remake, which isn't lost, but it's not the same as the original.
All right. Come right in, Mr. Evans.
Hello, Harry.
I guess you must have thought there was thieves in the place.
Cleopatra. Only about 60 seconds of this 90-minute-long historical drama have survived. It's noteworthy for being one of the most celebrated films featuring Theda Bara.
77,000 people saw it in an 11-week unprecedented run. Cleopatra and Salome are probably the most popular, sought-after ones today, I believe, because of the acting, because of the length, and because of the spectacular scenes.
She was a sensation in the silent film era, making more than 40 films between 1914 and 1926. Cleopatra was also one of her most expensive films and one of the earliest historical dramas.
Fox carefully wrapped this juicy tale of sex and skin in the papyrus of historical authenticity. He surrounded Theda with co-stars of unimpeachable integrity, including noted Shakespearean actor Fritz Leiber as Julius Caesar.
It was lost in a tragic Fox studio fire in 1937, which claimed a ton of silent films. Fascinatingly, someone began a project to reconstruct it during the 2010s, cobbling together over 400 stills, but this has yet to see the light of day.
The last time anybody knows of anyone seeing Barre's Cleopatra was in 1934 when Cecil B. DeMille looked at it in preparation for his own production of Cleopatra starring Claudette Colbert.
The Mountain Eagle.
What?
Running it tomorrow.
First of all, there's nothing to that story.
Many cinema fans consider Hitchcock one of the greatest directors of all time. The vast majority of his movies are still preserved, but the second one he directed, The Mountain Eagle, is entirely lost. This is likely because no one particularly cared for it.
As you well know, my contract guarantees me final cut.
Your contract also says Paramount isn't required to distribute any film that could cause us embarrassment.
It was met with lukewarm reviews at best, and even Hitchcock once said he was glad it was lost. It's his only feature-length film that's been completely lost. A poster and a handful of stills exist, but these stills were taken on set and don't come from the finished product. We also have Hitchcock's notebooks, meaning we have more knowledge of the film's production than the finished product.
This picture, Pharaoh's armor, will be in for a long, humiliating bout of crow eating.
The Oregon Trail.
We kept tracking them till the blizzards hit, and we lost their trail. No need to tell you where we went.
John Wayne is hands down one of the most famous American actors of the 20th century. He began acting during the 1920s and didn't stop until he died in 1979.
How are you feeling? A little more poorly every day?
You got a streak of kindness a mile wide.
That I do. Tell you what, maybe I can help speed things along.
While he's become controversial in recent decades for his political views, he's still a major historical figure. The Oregon Trail was released 3 years before his mainstream breakthrough in 1939, and it's one of his first westerns. All we know is he plays a retired army captain who was on a mission for revenge against his father's killer. About 40 images taken on set still exist, but that's all that remains.
I ain't seen you since the surrender. Come to think of it, I didn't see you at the surrender.
Don't believe in surrenders.
Humor risk. The Marx Brothers were one of cinema's original comedy teams. They became major celebrities in the 30s, but their first film is unique among all others. This was Humor Risk, released in 1921. It failed to make a splash, and they didn't create a movie again until 1929.
If we're successful in disposing these lots, I'll see that you get a nice commission. And how about some money? Well, you can have your choice.
Few details have survived, but we know it was a parody of the 1920 movie Humoresque. We don't even know who played what character.
I always visualize myself sitting in a steamer chair with a steward bringing me bouillon.
Come on, Ricardo.
You couldn't get any bouillon in here unless they brought it in through a keyhole.
Some say all copies were destroyed, while others claim that friends of the brothers salvaged one copy. Yet another researcher says Groucho Marx himself destroyed the sole copy, but that's unconfirmed, so it might show up someday.
Why, yes. There seems to be a trace of uncertainty in that yes.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Burning of the Red Lotus Temple. This 27-hour-long action flick may be the first martial arts movie. Andy Warhol films Jack Smith filming Normal Love. The NYPD stole this 4-minute short film in 1964, and it's since been lost. Dracula's Death, aka Dracula Holalo. Dracula's first appearance in a movie has been completely lost.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
London After Midnight. This is hands down one of the most sought-after lost films in history.
One tends to get excited about lost films. I think people would be very disappointed if they saw London After Midnight.
It's another Lon Chaney movie, but from the peak of his career. He plays 3 characters in total, with one being very vampiric.
Lon played a straight part of a detective who dresses up as a vampire, and the vampire is terrible because he had a huge grin, long hair and a top hat, and walked along in a sort of crawling way.
The last copy was lost in a fire in 1965, and no one has found another copy since. At least 200 stills exist, which were used to make a reconstruction in 2002 using the original script. A poster from the era also exists, which was sold to Metallica guitarist Kirk Hammett in 2014 for almost $500,000. At least there was a remake in 1935 called Mark of the Vampire, giving us a decent idea of the original.
Scourge of mankind, they shall be found.
Which of these lost films would you most like to see recovered? Let us know in the comments.